Welcome, hosts Dustin, and Anna.
We're here on our second chapter of, what are we calling this? Bloody February?
Bloody February, chapter 2.
Bloody February.
Bloody February, chapter 2. And today we're going to be reviewing PG Psycho Goreman. And we're not doing it alone. We have a guest over here, and we were just told while we were chatting, it's his first appearance on a podcast. So we got to give him a round of applause for that.
Yay!
And that's John, the movie Ginger. How's it going, man?
One-handed clap.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh,
and it's
of course.
all because of Big D over here, you know?
Yes,
Getting those
great-
connections.
Great guy. Love that guy. Fantastic.
You know, Big D puts his line out and just reels them in, baby.
He
I
does.
thought you were going somewhere else.
No.
Oh, we're starting off strong here, folks.
Everybody.
So how John came along is when we decided what we were going to do for Bloody February, Anna picked her movie, which we did last week, which was X.
Yes.
Little D's like, I want to do Psycho Goreman. And as soon as we announced that, I was scrolling TikTok. Sure as shit, John posted a video about how much he loves Psycho Goreman. I'm like, I have to.
It was fate.
It was fate that I had to bring his ass on here to talk about this fucking movie.
Yes. I'm amped. I'm really, really amped.
Me too. I'm excited.
So I guess before we get into all the goods, let's go over to Rotten Tomatoes. All right.
Let's do it.
So, John, what we do here is that we go over Rotten Tomatoes. We guess out of 100 what the critic score is, and same with the audience score. So we'll start with you, and with the critics, we're sitting at 83 reviews. So out of 100, what do you think it's landing at?
Critics are usually pretty pompous when it comes to stuff like that, so I'll be generous and give 65%.
Okay.
That is generous.
Anna, what about you?
I'll do 42.
Okay. Big
Jackie
D.
Robinson, baby.
Yeah.
Not $1, Bob.
$1, babe.
I'm gonna say, what'd you say, 65, John?
Yeah.
All right, I'll say 74.
Are you guys ready to be blown?
Zero.
Please.
It's certified fresh,
Okay.
All
sitting
right.
at 92%.
Wow.
From critics?
For critics.
For Psycho Goreman.
For Psycho
I
Goreman.
am shocked right now.
I mean, it does
All right.
solidify my point that Steven Kostanski is a genius. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Shabadoo.
Now let's move on over to the audience score. And this has 500 plus ratings. So, John, back at you. Out of 100, what do you think it's sitting at?
97%.
Okay. Anna?
Oh, God. I'll do 95.
Big D?
86.
You guys went in the complete opposite direction for this one. It's
I
sitting
thought
at
that.
64%.
He was good. John was closer on the other one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. I get it.
I need to talk to some people real quick. Like
Yeah.
that is an
Hair.
abomination.
Make some calls.
Yes. So I want to kind of go around the room, and John, we'll start with you as you're the guest. Tell us a little bit of your history with this movie. Like, when did you see it? How did you hear of it? Just kind of tell us a little bit of backstory.
So I actually happened across this movie just randomly one day. I think I was just maybe looking online, and it was just like a chance encounter with it. I think the trailer randomly played like on my YouTube or something like that. And instantly, I'm a huge nerd, so it's like I instantly got like dark Power Ranger vibes from it.
Yes.
So like I was like, I need to find this movie and watch it. And that was the beginning of my beautiful relationship with PGE, because the movie is phenomenal. I've watched it many times, and I actually just did a fresh rewatch last night because my wife had never seen it, so I had her watch it, and she
Hell
actually
yeah.
thought it was really good. So, and that's pretty much my relationship. It was just a chance encounter. Steven Kostanski wasn't even a name that I was familiar with. He wasn't even on my radar, and now I'm like, I will watch anything that he does. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
Have you seen his movie The Void? I mean, he kind of co-directed that one.
Yes, I have. It's a great cosmic horror film, and I've also seen Frankie Frico as
That
well.
one's wild.
And
Shabadoo.
Shabadoo, and he
I
is
got you.
he's actually remaking Deathstalker now.
Yeah.
And that's the next movie that I'm excited about from him. So yeah.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Anna, let's go to you. What's your history with this movie?
This starts my history with it. I watched it a couple of days ago. I knew it was coming up, and it's one. When you hear a title like Psycho Goreman, you don't really forget it. So I hear it. I've heard it from you guys. I've heard it from my other movie buddies. Like, oh man, I love Psycho Goreman. And finally, you guys picked it. Somebody picked it to where I finally had to sit down and watch it. And I'm kicking myself for waiting so long because I had so much fun with it. I wanted to try to get my daughter to watch it with me, but she just wasn't in the mood for it. But I know if she sat down and watched it, she would like it.
Those hunky
And,
boys.
Hunky Boys. And she likes the kids stuff too. She would have laughed at that. Hunky Boys. She'd be like,
Frig you.
Frig you. She'd probably ask me if she could say that.
Frick off.
Frig off. But yeah,
Um,
this was too much fun.
That's one thing that I've been enjoying your company on here, Anna, is for how many movies are new watches for you. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's so cool to, look through somebody who's just seen the movie versus somebody like me who has seen it a million times. Like
Right.
I love that.
Mhm.
It's so fucking awesome. So I'm
Yeah,
glad
it's
you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Big D, what about you, man?
So me and this movie go way back to 2021 when it dropped on Shudder during a little pandemic we were having.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I have been in love with this movie ever since, dude. Like The Void was great. Anytime I describe Psycho Goreman to anyone, all I have to say is if Power Rangers and Guar made a movie,
Yeah, literally.
there you go. And
Accurate.
that's what sells it, And then he just came out with Frankie Frico, and that movie just so much fun. Little puppet dudes, same monster vibe. I can't wait. We'll eventually get to that, but 2021, the Rona era of watching movies, and
Mhm.
that's about it. Little D, what about you, man?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. As same pandemic. I saw I think Shudder kind of boosting this for a while, getting like people to be like, "Hey, this movie's gonna be coming out." Trailers, like John was saying, he was seeing a bunch of trailers everywhere. I remember that right before it landed on Shudder, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I obviously looked up Steven to see what he did before, and then I saw that he did The Void. I was like, "Oh, The Void! I enjoyed that movie. That's a fucking crazy ending in that movie."
Mm-hmm.
And also with a lot of it being like practical effects and everything, and then also knowing what I was seeing from either like what's being written up on Bloody Disgusting or on the trailers of being like, yes, this is all practical effects. It's all puppets. It's all practical. There is obviously CGI in some stuff, but it's very minimal. And obviously the stuff that he's doing, you need CGI for some of that stuff.
Some of it, yeah.
I'll
But-
give you a warrior's death.
But yeah, seeing it during the pandemic, I think I watched it the week that it came out. I'm not even kidding, like 5 or 6 times. I was like, this is fucking
It rules.
fun.
Mhm.
And like I was like, oh, I gotta talk about it on the podcast, because I was doing a podcast at that time, but I never got around to doing it. So when we were coming up with ideas for movies this year and for this month, and I was like, I really want to go bloody. I want shit to be gross. So I was like, what is one movie off the top of my head that's pretty gross? Psycho Goreman. Like, come on, you got to fucking put Psycho Goreman in there.
Now's the
um,
time.
So I'm happy we're finally getting to this. And yeah, Steven's a genius. And some of the interviews that I've listened to with him, he's like, he loves monsters, he loves puppets. So that's something he's always gonna have.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, everything he's done has had that shit in it. So I mean, he's tried and true, and he's really doing what he loves, and it shows. And this movie is nothing but love, in my opinion.
I didn't know he did The Void. I watched that last year, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it, actually.
Well,
I
he
need to go back and
co-directed
check
it,
it out
so
again.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
not all.
it's-
It's not entirely.
It's not
his fault.
all, yeah. It's not all him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, this is strictly all him. This is his writing. This is everything. So
I dig it.
hell yeah,
Yeah.
and that's really 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 awesome. I guess we can kind of go around the room here. We could pick some scenes or some one-liners that we really really liked. And we'll start with our guest as usual. John, what's in this film? What stands out the most to you?
First of all, the lead character, the little girl, Millie, she is
Mimi. Yeah.
Mimi, sorry, she is absolutely probably. I know a lot of people think that she's like really annoying, but I kind of think that's the intent of the character. I think that she pretty
Yeah.
much, her and PG pretty much carry the film, but it's the sass really of Psycho Goreman that's probably my favorite thing about the film. That and the gnarly ass practical effects. But it's just like how bothered he is by being bossed around by this really bratty little girl, and he literally is powerless to do anything. Like the scene, the first, like whenever they first run into him in the old shoe factory, and she's like, "You have to sit here." Oh, and it's like you got to sit here all night, and it's like come back like the next day, and he's still sitting in that exact same spot. It's like you know how pissed off that he was that he had to sit there all night long.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, when all that's happening, and you see like those four thieves in the beginning of the scene, and they get the rest of them get fucked up. And there's the one that's like, "Please, man, don't kill me." And he goes, "All right, then live forever." And he
Live
fucking
forever.
hates him.
His fucking eyes.
Dude, when the kids come in and see the mayhem that has happened, you have this popsicle guy over there just fucking chilling. You have the
The
art
meat
up on
rack.
the wall, the mural that's over there, dude. And when he what's the little boy? His name Luke.
Luke.
Or
Picks him up
boy.
and boy. Spins him around real fast and then sets him down. He's like hobbling around. And he knocks it over while Psycho Gorman is giving like this huge epic monologue. And he goes, he's like, "No, that was my finest work."
Yeah, they knock it over.
But he's so serious about it. That's what cracks me up too. He's so serious, but just the stuff he says, some of it's just goofy and silly as shit.
Hey, Anna Gorman, can I ask you a question?
Yes. No.
Dang it! Go!
I loved that scene, so I went in the chat and I was like, Psycho Goreman's my new spirit animal. Because the kid was like, "Hey, PG, can I ask you a question?" No. Like, that's how and I missed it. I missed my mark. My bad.
It's all right. It's okay.
I loved when Mimi was bringing in all this stuff for him, and she hands him like the magazine. She's like, "Oh, sorry, I don't have anything like for like porn." And then she's like, "Well, it's got like a bunch of hunky boys in it." And then he's like, "Why do I care about hunky boys?" And he's looking at, he's like, "Maybe I do care about hunky boys." She goes, "Yes, you do."
I do not care for hunky boys.
Or
Or
do
do
I?
Because that's not the first time she says this. Because when they're walking to school after they found PG, and they meet up with their Luke's friend Alistair.
Yeah.
Which is a tight fucking name.
Poor
That is a
Poor guy.
bad-ass name.
That poor kid. That poor little kid.
He's got to be like
Dude.
what, like 10?
He's got to be. And they're talking about playing these fucking video games, right? Like beating this game on medium difficulty. Dude, and she goes, "How about you give me a spin in your fucking clothes, you little hunky boy?" And he's like, No, thanks.
No thanks.
No, you're
Dude.
weird.
And then the bell rings and she goes, "I gotta go." And she grabs Luke's papers and throws them. I'm like, man, I would have. I'm like,
My
"Listen
math
here."
homework.
My math.
You know, I think another thing that I really appreciated is and I know y'all probably called it too, but if you notice whenever PG's giving that big monologue about the paladins and everything, I felt like that was more of like a commentary on like religion. Like he
Yes.
The
really
whole movie,
Yes.
the whole movie is a religious allegory.
Yeah, it's about their
and,
churches.
and I
Yeah.
thought that was really well done, and I've always had much appreciation for that whole like monologue and everything. And I mean, it was written very amazing. Like it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And he performed them really well too. Like I don't know the actor's name who played him.
Matthew Neneber.
Yeah, one,
He,
one
he killed it. Oh, here we go, another one.
Matthew played, I think, like the actual character, but somebody else done the voice, I believe. I can't remember.
Oh,
sure,
okay. Oh,
But
Yeah.
you guys just a little bit ago were talking about loving the slasher genre.
Mhm.
And
Oh, yeah.
Matthew has dipped his toes in another movie that just came out not too long ago, but he He was in screen test and deleted scenes, but he's not actually the guy that they used. He played Johnny in A Violent Nature.
That was
Yeah,
going
yep,
to
I
be my
remember that,
guess.
yeah.
That was going to be my
Oh
guess.
shit!
Yeah. So he just has
That's
like
cool.
that imposing figure, dude, and it's awesome. But
Mm-hmm.
I can see like the voice mod or somebody doing an overlay of it because a lot of like Doug Jones is like that. Like Doug Jones will act out all these parts being a cosmetics guy,
Yeah.
and not necessarily the voice. There's very few times they let him talk, but usually he's the one that brings the art to life by moving,
Yeah.
which Matthew did in this movie, man. Because PG, like, there's times where he's funny. There's times where he's an asshole. Dude, every single time he's trying to reach down to grab that gem from Mimi's hand.
And she's
dude,
like,
and she catches him, and he's like,
Mhm.
damn it. Dude.
she's quicker than he is. He's been
Yeah.
buried for so damn long. He's a little rusty.
Yeah.
And I think by the end of the movie, even though everything does work out and they come to a mutual understanding, blow each other a kiss, but I think by the end of the movie, he kind of respects her a little bit.
Yeah.
What about
The
Tyrant that she is, yeah.
Yeah.
What about where he's in the brothers' dreams? Like,
Oh yeah. What are we gonna do now? We gotta wait until your dream's over.
And wait till the dream is over. And they just start crawling slowly and they're standing there. Like the comedy, like
It's
the dark,
great.
silly comedy really hit for me in this. And
It was so good.
sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it can take me out.
Yeah.
And I will admit the dad and mom sometimes, like their dynamic in this, sometimes it took me out where I was like, why does this need to be here? Like,
Yeah.
like the scene in the beginning where they're tucking them in and the way they're talking to the kids when they come out in the backyard, they see the whole, like, that's enough. Like, we get it. Like, we get the kind of, they're the quippy, fun, different parents.
That's a big hole.
Yeah, that's a big hole. But the dad's a whiner, and they portray him as a bum, and then the mom, they portray her as a nagger. But I guess the end battle wouldn't go the way it did if they weren't in it. But
Yeah.
I just feel like there was too much of an emphasis on the parents, and they could have used that time to spend. We could spend even more time with PG and the kids.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, like there's something that Dad says at the beginning of this movie to Luke about monsters being real, which hits way harder than it should.
Yes.
And that when Luke understands and it comes to relevance to him later in the movie, he's like, "Wow, Mimi is the fucking monster here,
Yep.
Mhm.
not this 7
Yeah.
foot tall fucking alien."
Yeah.
But man, Anna, let's head to you. Was there a select parts that you dug, or
I like the diner scene.
That was really
fun.
good.
We hit on that earlier. I'm trying to think
Mhm.
of any. I just loved it. It was just so much fun from start to finish. I like when the cops show up.
Oh,
he-
that's
they-
my
they've-
favorite fucking
They've
scene.
got his ass dressed like a cowboy, and
no?
then
Do you know who he looks like?
who? Hunky boy.
He's- No, he looks like fucking Dr. Grant from Jurassic Park.
He does. He does.
Oh,
That's funny.
Dude, he's
My
got the
God.
ascot, the blue, he's Dr. Alan Grant.
you just blew my mind. He does. He
He
looks
said,
just
he said,
like
he
him.
said, he said, you got a T-Rex? You got a T?
Now that is a big pile of shit.
That's one big pile of shit, dude.
That damn melty cop randomly firing his gun throughout the movie as he
Dude.
just
Popping
walking
off.
in.
Oh my gosh. And then by that point too, poor Alistair's been changed into that blob.
Yeah.
And he's
Little
sliding,
brain monster.
he's
Yeah.
sliding around. But I love when she's explaining Crazy Ball to him
Oh my
and how
god.
enthusiastic she is, and he's just standing there and look like, do you understand any of this? Or whatever he says, and they're just like, meh.
Yeah.
So good.
So, bringing that up, we'll round table. Our favorite creatures that are in this. Like, do you have one, Anna? Like your favorite one that
Oh, PG for sure.
out of all of them?
Yeah, out of all of them, he was my favorite.
Okay. Hell
I
yeah.
didn't care about the other ones. I mean, a little Alistair's cute, but PG's the man. Like, I would hang out with him if he didn't kill me, as long as I had the stone.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. He'd give you a warrior's death.
Never.
John, what about you, man?
Of course, Psycho Goreman is always going to be number one, but I was actually a really big fan of the round table of
Oh yeah.
Galactic Empire or
the,
whatever
the
they were.
guy,
That was cool.
the guy that was like doubting like the paladin's ability to kill Psycho Goreman. He was hilarious to me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I've always believed in you. I've always thought that you could do it or whatever, you know. And then of course, whenever the baddies that were supposed to be like Psycho Goreman's like army, they go down there just to fuck him over. And it's just
Yeah.
like, oh hey, we've been taking turns. Check out my neat crown. It is currently my
Yeah.
turn. You know.
Yeah.
So I love that fight. That actually is probably my favorite fight besides the end fight whenever he makes that badass body sword from the body of the
Sword.
paladin.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
that's one thing I know how to
Ripping
call it.
shit out of her.
The meat sword.
Meat sword.
Yeah, but that
Red Rocket.
Red Rocket. But yeah, that I love. They're all such good. You could tell the love that was put into the creature design for this movie. I love them all, but you just love Psycho Goreman so
I know.
much, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta say that scene too, whenever they're up at the round table and she's pleading her case, you know, like I've got to go down and take care of this. That reminded me so much of that scene in Kill Bill where they're all doubting her. I can't think what her name is
Oh,
off the top of my
yeah.
head. And she chops that guy's head off and she's holding it. Like it gave me that kind of vibe. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this bitch means
Yep.
business.
Yep.
Oh, dude, and she turns that girl into the fucking meat cube and brings it to her. And
Oh
smashes-
yeah. Come to
Dude,
me.
How striking is she's like marble white, and then she drenches her bottom face with her blood. That
Mhm.
shit is so striking.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very, very effective. Very effective.
Angelic, if you will.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Little D, what about you, man?
All right. I'm gonna go to comic route over here. The fucking cop, dude. The melted cop. Like the effects and just him like walking and like it gave me some like severe like Mac and Me vibes. Like the parents in Mac and Me, how they like
Yeah.
walk like that,
Sure.
and they also have the gun and they're like firing it off. Like it was giving me that. So I wonder if that's like maybe like an homage or something. But this because it's so fucking funny, and every time that scene comes on, like I'm dying, absolutely dying, and like it's so good. But all the effects in here and all the creatures, I feel like they're all so good. So yeah, the cop, I picked him just because it's like super comedic. But what about you, Big D?
I love Tube Man so much. It's the guy has the dome on his head. He's got the skeleton face, and his brain is just sitting there. He is so fucking cool. Him, and I really, really like the garbage disposal guy that's in the group of people that come down to fuck up
Yeah,
Psycho Goreman
yeah.
later. He's like a big cauldron of, meat.
Mm.
God damn it, dude! It's so
Cauldron
good.
of meat.
I want to give an
Oh.
honorable mention to the shrunken head witch, who is seen rolling down the street and she's
Oh,
all-
yeah.
and they run over it.
I got
honorable
away.
Yeah.
So the zombie cop is a reference to Steven Kodzanski's 2012 short film Biocop.
Oh,
So that cop
interesting.
has made an appearance somewhere else.
I have to go seek that out. It's a
okay.
short film, you say, huh?
Shit. I gotta
It's a
find
short.
You know what that
Short-
means?
You know what that means? That's the material.
That's it. It's the goods. But other than these monsters, man, I love the miniatures we get. So like when they're on the planet Gygax and like PG's giving his backstory about finding this fucking gem and everything that's going on, like I love just the look of it because it looks real. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look CG. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool. And then he ends up finding, and that's one thing I really like about PG is he does look really plain. He's one tone until the gem is either in possession or affecting him. Then we see like his veins, like the cracks in him start turning that color. His
Yeah.
eyes pierce, dude. It's so good.
So cool.
It's so good, man. But when poor little Alistair walks up and he goes, "Hey, how's your day going?" PG turns around and looks at him and goes, "It'd be much better if you were dead."
I
Yes.
know his one-liners and quick like give zero fucks about these kids killed me.
He's like, okay, have a good day. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Another scene that cracks me up too is after the fight and they have to have someone go get PG and the dad's like the mom and the dad already fought and he's called a loser
Oh my
and he's taking a
God,
shit
dude.
and then come find me. It's like his face is like freaking like bursting. I was like, oh fuck. It's so good. There's so many great comedic beats in this movie. And that's one. And it happens multiple times and each time it happens,
worked.
it's funnier.
Yeah.
And then he's
um,
like, he's freaking out at the end. He's like, but wait, where are they at? And then he comes back and he tells them, like, I'm right here.
He's like,
Take,
I don't
take a
know.
left
I
at the
don't know.
lights.
I don't know where that is.
Yeah. And then they fucking put PG in the back of that truck, and Mimi's like, "Can you scoot over to make room for my wagon?"
Yeah, he was like,
All while he's dying.
He's literally dying.
and like the other one too is when they're playing basketball or something. I don't think they're playing crazy ball at this point, but he turns into a flaming skull and he throws it through the house and it smacks the TV and freaks out the dad.
The dad.
He's like, "What the fuck?" It's so fucking good.
Now that
Oh
part
my
takes place during the epic. What is it?
Frick you?
I'm heckin' awesome.
Yeah,
Heckin'
I'm
awesome.
heckin' best.
I'm the
Heckin'
heckin'
best.
best. Yeah. During the music video for that, all where this little brain learned how to play fucking piano, and PG's back there playing the drums. This goober ass band that's out here now, dude.
I love it so much.
So good.
Golly. But PG.
I can't believe
Yeah,
I waited
so-
so long to watch it. I scrolled past this so many
I'm so
times.
happy you liked it because I remember when this dropped, a lot of people were, as usual, shitting on it, you know.
Of course, yeah.
But now I feel like it really is beloved. It's been released multiple times on, like, I think VHS, Blu-rays. I think that has to be 4K out. There has to be. And, you know, a bunch of awesome, like, T-shirts and stuff out from all at the T-shirt boutiques and stuff out there.
I know. That's what I said earlier.
It's-
I needed a shirt.
It's so good. And I guess there's rumors.
No!
There's rumors about Psycho Goreman 2, and
Yes.
like as much as I would like a Psycho Goreman 2, I'm always afraid of sequels when you have something that's so like practical based and so good for it carrying over to a second one.
Right.
But
I think it'll be just fine. Like, you know what I mean?
I
It
agree.
would be just as over the top, if not even more, than
Yep.
this one was.
And not only that, they've got plenty of lore and world to build on if
Yeah.
they wanted to, you know.
If Steven is in charge of it, I would trust that man with my life at this point. He cannot make a bad movie in my opinion. And like after Frankie Frico, they just like sealed the deal for me.
Hell
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, I will watch anything this man does.
Very nice.
But at the end, man, like they end up back at the shoe factory, right? Because PG is over there dying, and he's trying to convince Mimi to give him the stone. And Mimi goes into that room and she starts praying, and she goes, "There's only one God, and his name is Psycho Goreman." And she grabs that crucifix off the wall and breaks that shit. But the fact that she convinces everyone to battle for their lives by playing crazy ball
Yep.
is bonkers, dude.
It's
Like
so bonkers.
these galactic warriors are here, and they're gonna dude, the fucking Pandora's like, "Can you explain the double or nothing?" She goes, "Nope, you should have been
Nope.
paying attention."
Nope,
Yep.
should have been paying attention. It's like, yeah, at that moment though, I was like, yeah, you tell her. Like, should have been paying
Fucking
attention.
team suck versus team me versus you guys are winners.
yeah.
Dude.
I also love what the dad says to her too about like figuring out she needs to get the gem to him. He goes, "When I was a kid, I learned a lesson, and there
Oh
was a
my.
guy who asked me to go look at his baseball card collection in the back of his van. And out of my better judgment, I said yes. And we went to go look at his pristine baseball card collection, and we had a great time. And that's what it's like being an adult."
Dude, when he jumps up and high fives Psycho Gorman and breaks his arm,
That
Damn, breaks his
sent
arm.
me.
Yeah.
That
Tom
sent me.
Pound. Compound fracture. Right around the arm.
Damn. Oh, that was a great effect too because I felt that hit and that break.
It
Yeah,
was so
that was fantastic.
because
I
it's
threw
alluded.
I threw my head back at that point and just was hee hawing.
Oh my god, it's alluded to earlier because when he goes to shovel, he hits the, and he's like, my wrist.
That didn't take long.
Wiener.
he's a fucking.
Well, I'm
wiener,
sorry.
dude.
I guess I'm just too damn lazy.
Yeah.
I
How's this
know.
for lazy? And he drives away.
Yeah.
That was funny though.
Oh.
Dude, it's just, like the whole final battle happens, dude, and the mom's like holding him up, and he's about to pass out on her.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the hospital.
Let's
Yep.
get you to the hospital.
Yep.
Man, but she drinks that Jesus juice, dude, like literally, and becomes this paladin, and she did her wrong, dude, because there should have been zero reason why she was that animatronic.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
like
It was
I'm
really
sorry. That cynics over here.
It's fucking killing me.
I mean, I actually, to be honest, I wouldn't have been surprised if someone's name in this movie wasn't Harold Camping, but dude, she was too pneumatic to be like a warrior like Pandora is, dude. Like, it kind of sucked for her, but she got reverted because apparently she didn't appreciate.
You are not worthy of these powers I gave you. And she comes back like all wet. Like, what the?
But
She was like sweating so much in whatever she was in. That's what I thought.
She did
that's
have,
what it
she,
is.
she did have really cool shoulder cannons, though.
She
Yeah.
did.
She
Great
has good
sound
setup.
effect too.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. And dude, but the PG gives fucking like he fucks her up, dude.
But, sir, oh,
Rips
Big
off like
time.
side of her face, her chest, like
It
you
was
just
so
see
good.
shit. And then
so good.
Anna,
What's up?
Warrior's death.
Yeah.
I
By the way, a warrior's
love-
death is him transforming in his mouth opening as
Yeah.
big as this person and literally consuming the entirety of it in one big bite. And then he just like goes back to normal. I was like, that's the warrior's death?
Yep.
Noble.
Yep.
It's fucking so Scooby Doo like, dude.
It is.
It was
But it
so
worked.
good.
It
though.
worked. It worked so good.
But I think my favorite is the very end of this movie because they come to an understanding, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, so Mimi, you can keep this stone. I don't actually need it. Joke's on you
Mhm.
because I'm fueled by hatred.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go
Same.
destroy your world. And she goes, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, and she opens that portal and just starts blowing shit up. Dude.
Giant purple guy. Dude.
No hesitation.
Just fucking everybody's world up. It's like, hey, it's okay. We're still alive.
That's it. All while Alistair is getting called for dinner.
Oh,
Dude. He comes scooting out his little brain. And
That
he's just
poor
sitting there.
child.
No, he didn't get fixed. He is still the
I
fucking same.
know.
that
Yeah.
man, the Psycho Gore man owed that dude an apology. He did him so dirty.
Did him dirty, dude. Did him dirty. But the mom that's Alistair's mom is the lady who was in the bodysuit for Pandora.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
dig that.
Interesting.
So Anna, with this being your first time seeing this, like there's a world that I feel like this movie could absolutely live in, and that is in the world of Turbo Kid. Have you seen Turbo Kid?
I have, but it's been a long time. I
So
need to rewatch
good.
it. I need to
It's so
rewatch
good.
it.
Jeremy Irons.
Michael
Yes.
Ironside.
Michael Ironside.
That's who I meant.
I love Michael Ironside.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know why I said Jeremy Irons.
I
Michael
just had a
Ironside.
I just had a revelation recently on my other show. We watched or we reviewed Total Recall, and it was the first time I'd ever seen it too. And I love him and everything else. And after I watched Total Recall, I was like, you know what? I'm attracted to this man, and I don't care what anybody has to say about it. I think Michael Ironside's a babe, and I will say that proudly.
Listen, he is the definitive bad guy. If you've seen him in a movie in the '90s, you automatically knew he was playing the villain.
Oh, yeah.
Except Starship Troopers.
Except
Oh, yeah.
Starship Troopers.
Except Starship, yeah. Starship.
Yeah.
that was-
And Neon City. He was in Neon City. He was
And-
kind of the
I haven't seen Neon City in a
And-
long time.
You
And
seen
Top
it though?
Gun.
Yeah, I've seen. I haven't
He
watched
was-
it in a very long
He
time.
was Jester in Top Gun, I think.
Yeah.
Jester.
Yeah, he's not the bad guy in Top Gun either.
Mm-mm,
Yeah.
he's just
He's
kind
the
of
one
an
that-
extra.
He walks in on them with all of them. They're wearing their fucking tidy whiteys.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's right.
Super sad about Goose just leaning up on the wall like this.
I know. I feel the same way. Goose.
Yeah, but Turbo
Anyways.
Kid is this movie absolutely fits in this world. And there's another movie I introduced Mickey and Charlie to, and John, called Commando Ninja.
Oh,
I've heard y'all talk about this.
Oh my!
I actually went and
God.
watched that. I watched it.
Oh, you did
was
watch it?
It's perfect. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That
It's
is
bonkers.
the cheesiest. Anna, do yourself a solid.
Okay.
Okay.
100% American.
Yeah, 50% Commando,
Did you
50%
send me
Ninja.
Did you send me a clip from that?
Probably, I made one for B Action.
Maybe you did. Maybe I think I know what you're talking about. Just from you mentioning it though.
Your pizza's here. Why didn't order any pizza? And it's a pepperoni with a side of 9mm.
Oh yeah.
But it's just how bonkers like those movies have become and how much we appreciate them now.
Mhm.
PG will forever be. He's easily going to be one of those, just an icon. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
anyone who watches
For
horror
sure.
knows who PG is.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah, I hadn't even seen the movie, and I still knew enough about it. That
Yep.
graphic I made for the YouTube thumbnail, I made
Mhm.
that before I watched the movie, and I just caught vibes from it. I was like, okay, this is what it feels like, and I was pretty dead fucking on,
Yeah.
if I must say
Yeah.
so myself.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, this is just an absolute treat. I love it. It's a rewatcher for sure.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. It never gets old. I've watched this movie so many times, and it's just like, oh my God, it's
Mhm.
hilarious every fucking time. It's always hilarious.
Yeah,
Yep.
always funny.
There's
gets-
one thing I wonder if you guys caught on too. As somebody who's watched the Ninja Turtle movies growing up so many times, even lately, and going to the credits of this one, I feel like the PG song that they made was very like inspired by, or like throwing some kind of like influence from the credit song of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. I don't know if you guys caught on to that, but I was
They're
listening
all
to it
like-
like, oh my God, is this
It-
what it is?
That's actually, I didn't know, I would never put two and two together, but now that you say that, it's very well could be inspired by, could have drawn inspiration from, definitely. It's very, very possible.
I don't doubt it. I mean, look at the Power Rangers inspiration behind this movie, dude. When you see
That's everywhere.
when you see the council of bad guys, and you have that one dude who his head's like protruding out,
Oh,
just
absolutely.
his face.
Absolutely.
That is a Power Rangers villain.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And,
Absolutely.
and then, like John was saying, there's the tiny face witch, which I think she's fucking tight too.
Yeah.
When all these monsters can easily fight the Power Rangers.
Yes.
And I can see where the Turtles' influence would come too. Like, this is absolutely somebody who grew up in the 80s and 90s watching this stuff, making their own Power Rangers Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
So,
Definitely.
yeah.
Hell yeah. I guess we kind of hit on like almost everything in this movie. We can jump to our ratings right now. John, we just do out of 5, like how we would on like Letterboxd and everything. So, what would you rate PJ Psycho Goreman?
It's a 5 out of 5 easily for me. The movie is perfect in my eyes. I wouldn't change one thing about it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Anna, what about you?
I gave it a 4 out of 5. And
Okay.
honestly, I don't really know why I didn't just give it a 5. Maybe just because of the parents. Like some of their shit, like I was rolling my eyes and I was like, okay, let me get back to the kids in PG. And like especially the scene where they're bickering and fighting. And I know that has to set stuff up for later, but I'm just like, they just annoyed me, especially the dad.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's like my only gripe for this movie. And like I said earlier, like dark kind of slapsticky comedy like this doesn't always hit for me, but in the context of this film, with everything else, with the practical effects, with like a new monster with PG who's become, like we said, this icon, and all these other monsters, that's been created. It's just a labor of love, and you can't. I just don't see how anybody could not like it, or at least not respect it for what
Yeah,
Stephen Kaczynski has done. And
yeah.
it's become easier and easier for me as I've started watching, like, I don't know how to word this without making it sound bad, but like movies that aren't like widely accepted by all moviegoers. Like
Okay.
Psycho Goreman is, my dad would not want to watch that. You know, he would not find anything to like in that. But I'm finding it easier and easier for me to sit back with films like this and just totally suspend disbelief. This is, I don't ask questions about like, oh, well, that wouldn't happen. You know,
Yeah.
what's the police doing? Why are these
Getting
kids,
melted.
why exactly? Why are these kids' parents just going along? Why aren't they taking them and running? You know, just like, I just don't think about stuff like that. I'm just
Mhm.
like, this is the world we're in, and I love the lore and the other planets and everything, that the intergalactic battles that's going on. Like, I'm here for that shit. So I really loved it. And Little D, I'm glad you picked it finally.
Hell yeah. I'm glad too. Big D, let's go to you.
This movie's easily 5 Hunky Boys.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
man.
you're giving it a 5. Okay.
5 Hunky Boys.
Hunky
My
Boys.
man.
I went
This-
real quick. I did go in the chat when that happened, and I was like, "Ooh, I too like Hunky Boys." Psycho Gourmet.
Yes.
So, like Anna was like, everyone's saying, like, this movie is an ode to 80s and 90s movies. So, like, Anna just brought up the fact that the parents are going along with these kids and this alien. Like, that's almost like a 90s trope.
Yeah.
When it comes to like these movies, like Harry and the Hendersons and
Yep.
stuff like, and,
Yeah.
you know, pre-hysteria, stuff like that,
Oh,
which
classic.
I loved. I love the fact that the parents are all in, but they're still fucking terrified.
That'd be
Yep.
me
By
though.
Dude, when
Little D, you
they're
too.
laying on the floor and Mimi's like, "You will not hurt my parents." He goes, "I will kill you guys the second I get the control."
That scene is gold,
Dude. That's just
And they're like-
and they're terrible. And then like Lil D brought up when he's in the fucking bathroom just shitting, and then fucking Gigi's face comes. They're still terrified of what he can do, and I
Right.
love that.
Mhm.
I love it. The practicals are great. The miniatures are awesome.
Oh, yes.
All of the characters in this movie, when it comes to the monsters, I loved all of it.
It's everything
So-
that we grew up watching that is basically crammed into one movie. I mean,
Yeah.
it's literally for people like us that grew up on this type of stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
it
Yeah.
definitely caters to that specific niche audience, and that would be a lot of us out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So 5 out of 5 Hunky Boys for me.
Hunky
Yes.
Boys.
Little
Hunky
D, what about you, man?
boys.
Oh boy. If I could go above 5, I would. I would give this a fucking 6 out of 5 if I could, but it's a 5 out of 5. From the first watch until now, I've watched it so many times, and like John was saying earlier, it never gets old. In fact, it gets better. Now
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
know what's gonna come, it just makes it way funnier and way crazier. Being like, oh god, no, we're gonna see this guy get turned into a freaking melting cop again. We're just gonna go and see PG eat this guy after this big battle or whatever it may be. It's so fun, and I feel like
When
the
they're
writing.
when they're walking down the street and somebody does something to him and he just like
The
Oh,
little
you
girl,
obliterates
yeah,
him?
the little girl goes. She goes, "Nice Halloween costume, asshole."
oh yeah, and he goes,
Just
and
the
I was like,
Blows, obliterates her.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Obliterated.
it's so good, and the writing, I think it's so good. And Steve, he did a great job with everything. Knowing that he had his hands on every single part of this, it's his project, and we can see what his mind is like. I
Yeah.
do want more things from him, even if it's
Yes.
a Psycho Goreman 2. I'm skeptical, but I think he can pull it off.
yeah,
Just all the practicals are in here. Everything is made with love. It's pretty much really funny right out of the gate. You know, we open up with the crazy ball game, and they're playing this weird thing, and then the balls connect, and they punch each other. Or she punches him in the stomach, and then
Dude, when they find the gym and she goes beep boop boop beep boop
Yeah.
beep boop beep boop beep,
and she knew
And-
that damn code.
and
yeah,
then that guy up in space is
Yeah.
like, the most intricate mind must have had to figure this out, because that
Yeah.
made that code so structured that it would be almost impossible to open it.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like, dude, you're an idiot. You're a certified idiot.
Yeah, there's just like so many little things like that that's so funny, and just the
Mhm.
build up on when Psycho Goreman's first shown, and he's killing these people, rips off their heads, and turns this guy
Oh
into
God, it's so good.
whatever he may
So
be,
good.
just like living in eternity, and it's just crazy. It's a great movie. I think it's still on Shudder, so if anybody out there
It is.
is
Yeah,
on Shudder,
AMC Plus. AMC
go
Plus.
watch that too.
Yep.
Go watch this right now. Just like you can finish the podcast and then you can go watch it, or
Oh.
pause the
So-
podcast and then go watch and then come back and listen to us so you can hear our final thoughts.
I think the
it's
next time I
fantastic.
watch this, it'll be a 5. It'll be
Yeah.
a 5.
There you go.
Because
Oh, yeah.
it sucked me in from the beginning too. I wasn't like distracted in 5 minutes. I was into it, and it was just fun. I felt good afterwards. I was
Yeah.
like, this movie's a banger. It's one of those you want to tell everybody about. I was in all the
Oh,
group
so
chats.
good.
This movie's awesome.
Hell yeah.
So
And
good.
we're all like, it's about time, Anna.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally
Well,
everybody I know but me has seen this movie.
I will.
Well,
I will
wanna-
forever scream Psycho Goreman from the mountaintops.
Yeah,
Hell
what
yeah.
I want to see
I will
now
indeed.
is I want to see PG and Boink.
Who's born?
Oh,
He's from Frankie Frico, but he's like
I haven't seen that.
he's got like a robot eye. He has like a big thing back here.
yeah, that would be
Shabba-
awesome.
shabba-doo.
Interesting.
Shabba-doo.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So I think that's pretty much all we have on this. But before we go, John, if you want to let our listeners and watchers know what you got going on, where they can find you, go ahead and fill them in.
Yeah. So, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can find me there. MovieGinger, pretty much all across the platforms, uniform name. So, like I said, my uploading has slowed down a bit just because I'm starting to focus on longer form content. But I just want to say a big thank you to all of y'all. It has been a blast. This has been everything that I imagined it would be, and so much more. Put that terrible movie down,
Put
Dustin.
that away. Put that away.
It is so terrible, but I do love it so much. I've watched it many times over the years. It's just so what the fuck. But I just want to say a big thank you. Thank you, Big D, for reaching out, extending the olive branch, and this has been a great experience.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
so happy to hear
Hey,
that.
you're welcome back anytime. The door's open.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
thank y'all. I thank y'all so much. I
Just
appreciate
don't
it.
let it hit your ass on the way out, John.
Yeah, this was a
No,
blast.
maybe when we get to Frankie Frico.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I will gladly come back and talk about Frankie Frico.
Hell yeah.
So
But
good.
I'm so glad that everybody liked this movie and
I loved
loves it.
I loved it.
And everybody listening, go ahead and let us know in the comments what you think of Psycho Goreman. Have you seen it? Does this make you want to go watch it if you haven't seen it? And also make sure on all the audio platforms you guys are sharing it, liking it, commenting. It just boosts us a little bit more. Same on YouTube. Comment, share it, like it, and also subscribe to us. We're getting our numbers up over there, which is really, really good. But yeah, this was a great time, John. Thank you again for coming on. And
Yeah. Thank you, John.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Pleasure to
Oh,
meet
yeah.
y'all, and look forward to being on here again in the future. Thank y'all.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we'll see everybody on the next one.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Hell yeah.